Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I'm back with another New Metal Monday where I talk about my favourite new releases of the week, and it's just going to be a short video this week with 4 brand new albums that I want to talk about. Now once again, these 4 albums will be included in the description box below. You'll have the Bandcamp links or the YouTube channel links so you can listen to the albums for yourself. Or if you're on Spotify and these albums are available on Spotify, I do have a New Metal Monday playlist, which is linked in the description box below. So if you use Spotify, make sure to give that a follow. But like I said, I've got 4 brand new albums that I want to talk about, and I'm just going to jump straight in. Now, of course, the biggest release of the week was Bruce Dickinson with the Mandrake project, and it's his 7th studio album from his solo project. Now, it's been 20 years since he last released a solo album, and he's back with a highly immersive record, which is also accompanied by a comic book series. Now, the first issue of this sci-fi occult comic book series was released earlier on this year, and the other 11 issues will be released on a quarterly basis. Now, we all know that Bruce Dickinson has an incredibly distinctive voice. He's one of the most powerful voices in heavy metal, and of course, he is always going to be known for his extensive career with Iron Maiden. But aside from his legendary Iron Maiden career, he's also had a very successful career in Samson, the band that he was in before Iron Maiden, and also his own solo stuff. Now, the very first thing that stood out to me about the Mandrake project was how not Iron Maiden it sounded, which I think is an absolutely fantastic thing, because you don't just want another Iron Maiden 2.0. Yes, it's very much Bruce Dickinson, and his voice is never ever going to change, but the music is completely different. It's very dark and very sinister in places, also very, very progressive in places, and it has a lot of that cool 80s synth kind of vibe to it too. It's very dark, very brooding kind of atmosphere, lots of really heavy melodic elements. His really dynamic and powerful storytelling abilities are incredibly immersive, and they do take you on an absolutely magical, mysterious journey into his mind. It twists and turns in every direction, but it's beautifully structured at the same time. And it's everything that you would ever expect and more from the very operatic, energetic virtuoso. It doesn't matter what subgenre of metal that you like or whether you're an Iron Maiden fan or not. Definitely check this out. This is something completely different. Loads of elements, really, really layered, and it's just very, very operatic. And just at under an hour long, it doesn't feel like that at all. I managed to get through it within a blink of an eye, and I didn't even realise that almost an hour had passed. This is just an absolutely beautiful record. Now, the thing about this record is all of the tracks are different, but a standout moment for me was definitely Afterglow of Ragnarok. There's just something really commanding about that track. Huge emphasis on crushing attitude, massive melodic elements, and the chants in this are highly addictive and guaranteed to get the crowd going when he does play this stuff live, so definitely check this record out. Okay, so next up I have Volcandra with The Way of the Ancients, and it's the 2nd studio album from the US melodic black death metal band. Now, first of all, I want to point out this absolutely amazing artwork. It was actually the artwork that drew me into the album in the first place, and then when I saw that the genre was melodic black death metal, that was me completely sold, and I was not disappointed at all. Now, the record gives off the energy of a massive, formidable berserker horde that's just charging at you. It's so powerful and so energetic. It's got all of those blistering blast beats, huge black metal style riffage, deep demonic gutturals and rasping screams. It has lots of really cool, catchy melodics. It's incredibly frantic, very, very brutal and heavy, but there's also something very catchy and addictive about it at the same time. Haunting synths and sinister piano make themselves known throughout the entire record, which just adds that extra layer of atmosphere and keeps things interesting. But this record is definitely more on the brutally intense guitar-driven side of the subgenre. But not only that, it has a lot of really cool thrash metal elements throughout it as well. So if you're a fan of the likes of Volcandra, Stormruler or Dissection, you're definitely going to want to get onto this one. There are so many great tracks on this record, but Maiden of Anguish was a definite favourite of mine. It starts off with a very brief melodic kind of riff before it starts charging forward with those thunderous blast beats and that epic frantic riffage. But then it kind of alternates into that mid-tempo groove-laden stompy stomp and then back to the frantic blast beats, and it kind of just bounces back and forth like that as well. And it's done so well, it flows really well, it's not jarring at all, and it definitely keeps you on your toes. It's an absolutely raging track full of crushing attitude, those demonic growls, and really haunting melodic guitar solos. Highly recommend this album. I've listened to it a number of times over the weekends now, and I cannot get enough of it, so definitely check it out. Okay, so next up I have Messia with Christus Hypercubus, and it's the 7th studio album from the Swiss extreme metal band. So it's a bit of black metal, a bit of speed metal, a bit of death metal, and a wee bit of thrash in there as well. So many riffs in this record. This is definitely a riff-driven record. They take all the best elements of death metal, thrash metal, with a wee sprinkling of ambient moments and melodics and really haunting synths throughout as well, but it is primarily very death thrash with a wee bit of black metal in there too. You've got a great balance of those really creepy, haunting whispers and spoken word moments, deep demonic gutturals and rasping screams. It's crushing, it goes hard, it's incredibly addictive, and there's something really dark about it as well. But not only is it incredibly brutal and really crushing, there's something quite melodic, addictive, and catchy about it, and it's just an absolutely fantastic blend of all of the extreme metal subgenres rolled into one. It has the odd doomy element throughout it as well, where it kind of slows down into a more melodic kind of doomy mid-tempo stompy stomp, but then it starts to pick back up again, and it basically swings back and forth between the two, but it's done so well. So if you are a fan of the likes of Celtic Frost, Hellhammer, or Poison, you're definitely going to want to get onto this one. Soul Observatory was definitely a standout moment for me on this record. It just charges forward straight away. You've got all of that chuggy shreddage, you've got those rolling thunderous blast beats, lots of really cool pitch harmonics as well, but then it slows right down into a very haunting kind of atmosphere. Soaring solos in this as well before it absolutely explodes into that charging gallop once again. So I loved this track, I loved this album, and you should definitely check it out. Okay, so last up on my list, but certainly by no means least, I have Devastator with Conjurers of Cruelty, and it's the 2nd studio album from the blackened thrash speed metal band from the UK. Dark, sinister, ridiculously catchy, and incredibly fast. But there's a wee hint of black metal in there as well, specifically with the vocal style and a lot of the shredding elements throughout. They've managed to make their sound very raw but well polished at the same time. It's incredibly aggressive but super infectious too. The solos are full of groove and attitude, and the vocals are rasping and incredibly powerful. So if you are a fan of the likes of early Slayer, Hellripper, or Venom, you're definitely going to want to get onto this one. Black Witchery is my favourite track of this record. It's just full of that really cool, groovy attitude, but it goes incredibly fast, incredibly ferocious, and it is so catchy. I can't stop listening to this track. It's the one that I go to straight away, and then I'll listen to the rest of the album afterwards. So it's a little bit backwards, but my brain wants what my brain wants, and I cannot get over this album, and I definitely can't get over that track. And that's it for this week's New Metal Monday. Once again, let me know what you think of today's records in the comment section below, and if you have any of your own recommendations from last Friday's new releases, let me know and I'll get them added to my list, which is growing ridiculously long by the week. We are spoiled for choice when it comes to new releases at the moment. It's so difficult to keep up. Once again, check out my Spotify playlist in the description box below, and if you don't follow Spotify or if you don't use Spotify, the Bandcamp links or the YouTube links will be included in the description box too. Like, share, subscribe. I really do appreciate your support as always. Thank you so much, and I will see you very soon in my next video.